There is nothing that you can't accomplish. This sky is so beautiful. Y'all gotta see the sky. Man, beautiful. It's beautiful. It's cold. It's like 31 degrees out here. And yet I'm sticking to the plan, sticking to my schedule of walking every Wednesday and Sunday, because on Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday through Saturday, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning so that I could be at the gym by 6 and be out before 8, or at least by 8. But that's how I start my mornings. I woke up today at 4, oddly enough, because I went to sleep early. And I was just watching educational videos on like making viral content and working on my hooks and trying to do better with engagement and community work. That's what I've been going at. And this morning I was reading in the 10X Rule book by Grant Cardone, and I'm on chapter 5, or I finished chapter 5. And chapter 5 is labeled, "There is no shortage of success." And he was talking about how society and politicians and the government and the media will always try to convince, manipulate, and condition and brainwash a certain class of people to make them believe there is a shortage of an amount of resources and success. Meaning, and I hope y'all can hear me. I hope I don't sound too muffled in the ski mask. But basically, the media and the government, they would try to get you to believe in something that isn't true. And so because they believe, they condition you with this mindset of being, having scarcity and all these different things, you end up being dependent upon them. It's too cold. I'm sorry. If you can't hear me, that's too fucking bad. But they will condition you into believing a lie about your own life so that it can well advantage them. That is why the 1% stay the 1%. Because you have been conditioned into believing a lie. And even though it was a very short chapter, it has so much depth that will go over a lot of people's heads. And it kind of adds on to the chapter before where, excuse me, where he talks about how success is basically your duty, obligation, and responsibility. And that's what success has to be for you. You have to make it your duty, your obligation. It has to be a must. It can't be negotiable on where you want to be in life. But the majority of everybody, and if you've seen my New Year's resolution video, a lot of people have made it through the first week of January, the first week of 2025, and have already given up. Because they ain't built for it. And so, it's like how I said before, that first week, everybody gonna be up in the gym. Everybody getting new gym memberships. A whole week has passed, and I guarantee you there are some people right now, because it's too cold, like my arm or my fingers, they're getting a little stiff right now as I'm holding this phone. You can probably literally see my breath like steaming through my goddamn mask, because that's how cold it is out here. I am the only person out here walking, and I might look crazy. Really, I might look a little crazy for doing this, but this is what shapes me and builds me to being the person that I want to be. And a lot of people just aren't built for that. You know, there should be at least 10 more people out here doing the same thing that I'm doing, but they decided to stay in bed. They decided to hold off because, oh, it's too cold. The weather said it's going to be about 30, 40, 20 degrees outside. Maybe I should just stay in for the week and I'll just do a little cardio inside, or maybe I do a little inside workout, or maybe I won't eat as much. You're giving yourself excuses and holding yourself back from being the best aspect of yourself. You don't give excuses when you got to go to that job. You don't give excuses when you got to bring your children to school. You don't give excuses when somebody tells you, oh, I want to go and get something to eat. I want to go to the club. I want to go do some activities. But whenever it comes to your best interest, to something that can advance you, you give yourself fucking excuses. How, Sway? How do you expect to be a multi-millionaire and you can't even go for a simple walk or do a simple workout routine of working out 3 to 4 times a week? It doesn't matter if you feel good, because you still go to work being sick as a bird. I don't even know if that makes sense. But you'll go to work drowsy, nose running, cough, stomach ache, but you got to get to that bread, right? But whenever it comes to you working out, whenever it comes to you making that business, making that channel, making that YouTube video, making your brand, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, maybe someday, maybe one day. And as long as you keep giving yourself excuses, as long as you keep holding off, as long as you keep delaying it, somebody else is going to get to it before you. I bet you're scrolling on TikTok right now. I bet you was just scrolling on Instagram for hours. Just look at your screen time. I have to put a limit now, bro. Instagram, my phone told me that I'd be on Instagram on average of 7 hours a day. That is ridiculous. It says 7 hours on average I'll be on Instagram scrolling. I said, no, we got to cut that out, bro. So I put a limit. I'm only going to be on my phone on Instagram for 3 hours. And I got to dedicate the rest of those hours to something that can advance me. Because I can't. How am I going to be somebody that wants to make $100,000 a month and I'm on Instagram scrolling, looking at titties and ass? I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest with you. Most of my time on social media isn't because I'm trying to find a way to make $100,000 a month. I'm either looking at stuff that's related to my niche, looking at stuff that I can repost and react to. But for the most part, 70% of what I see, if you go on my likes, if you go on my reposts, or if you go on my likes and you know what I have saved, is either wrestling content, ass or titties. Now, I don't have a problem with ass and titties, bro. I'm not telling you that you can't go on social media and look at some ass and titties. All men look at ass and titties, all right? But what I'm saying is that at what cost? You know what I mean? On average, I'm on social media for 7 hours, and that's all I'm looking at. For the most part, at least, right? For 75%, 70% of me being on social media is ass and titties. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have success outside of that. I run a brand. I have over 22,000, or I have over 20,000. I want to hit 25,000, you know, on Instagram. So I have over 20,000 followers on Instagram. I have over 40,000 on YouTube. I am a monetized content creator. I'm a remote video editor. So it's not like I'm not out here doing it. You know what I'm saying? At least to an extent. But if I want to 10x my life, if I want to get to where I want to be, if I want to be somebody who makes $100,000 a month, I do not think somebody who makes $100,000 a month spends their time. Oh, it's my uncle. I don't think somebody who makes $100,000 a month spends 7 hours on social media. You know, I would hear people like Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg. Excuse me. Oh, I said I played his last name like a mug. But you know, you listen to these people, the Jeff Bezos and the Grant Cardone. I don't think these men who are high developers, high intellectuals, spend their time scrolling on social media for 7 hours a day. I don't think they spend their time mindlessly scrolling on TikTok. I don't even get on TikTok, bro. Because I know that anytime that I get on TikTok, it's going to be an endless time of scrolling. So I don't even spend my time on TikTok unless I'm just posting and then I'm off that mug. I might spend a good 5 minutes scrolling, that's it. Because my For You page and my Explore page is created for what I give my most attention to. So people will always say like Instagram, social media is created to brainwash you, but you can actually program your social media feed to educate you if you wanted to. You know, nobody's forcing you to look at hours of ass and titties. No, I just like ass and titties, so don't get it twisted. I like my time feed, and I have other platforms like, you know, YouTube that can recommend me multiple videos about me being educated on building platforms and personal brands and stuff. So I don't use Instagram particularly for that, but I do use Instagram for my business stuff and for posting videos and stuff and communicating. So what I'm just saying is that most of the people that I communicate with, I can really just communicate with them outside of Instagram. You know, sometimes I might get caught up having a mindless, valueless conversation, like a meaningless conversation with somebody in my comment section. For all I know, they could be a troll. Even worse, I might be having a conversation with a 15, 16-year-old about my posts. You know what I mean? Like, that's where like valuing your time comes into play. And I gotta make a whole video about that another day, concerning valuing your time. That's another topic for a different day. But see, I'm rambling. Point of this conversation though is there is nothing that you can't achieve when it comes to success. And you have to prioritize what you give your time to in order for you to advance in life. That was the whole point of me talking about me watching ass and titties on Instagram. But you gotta find for you what can advance you best, right? Making your routine, making your schedule, sticking to your daily schedule, despite what people have to say, because I ain't gonna lie to you. Friends, family, people look at me crazy for me walking outside. It's about 30-something degrees. I'm the only person out here. I take pride in that. I'm the only person in my neighborhood who was willing to go for this walk, this 3-mile walk. My fingers might be freezing. My nose might get a little bit stuffy. That's okay. We could deal with that simply with just some turmeric tea, getting a little, drinking some hot stuff, and we good. Staying up on my fruits and veggies, getting my right amount of sleep, we good. You just got to know how to prioritize your time and to do what is best going to benefit you. You got to keep going at it. And always understand that success does not have a limit. There's no amount of success. It's what you create. Success can only be created. It is not acquired, as I read in the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Success is limitless. So do not believe the politicians and the media when they tell you about a shortage of jobs, a shortage of resources, a shortage of water and food and supplies. You have to read in between the lines that these shortages are for the sheep. The lack of resources and success are for those who may never accomplish their dreams. I want you to understand that when the media is broadcasting, I want you to emphasize on that. When they are broadcasting, they're casting these spells upon you, conditioning your subconscious mind. When they broadcast to you their message to you on how to coordinate your life, and you being in constant survival fear mode, it is not to us who are aware, who are enlightened, who are Christ-like. It is not to us. It is to the masses, to the sheep. So I'm not going to make this too long of a video. Hopefully this helps somebody out there. In conclusion to this message, success is what you make it out to be, but even more so, the sky is not the limit. It's your fucking foundation. And success is whatever you make create it to be. And just keep that shit on repeat mode. Keep that shit on a cycle. You see all this frost out here, bro? I'm a crazy dude, bro. I'm a crazy dude. But yeah, success is what you make it out to be. Keep achieving whatever you want to achieve, and nothing can change until you make the change, bro. Everything will stay the same until you make the change. Check out my other videos. Like this video up. Share this with a couple of people. Have this conversation with your homies or your inner circle. And I'll see you in the next.